That brings us to item number 11, which is our superintendent's report, and I will turn it over to Dr. Melton.
Thank you, Mr. Gant. Board members, community members, before we get to the recorded items, I have a great celebration. Today I have the opportunity to attend a luncheon. Each year, the South Carolina Association of School Administrators has a rigorous process known as Palmetto's Finest. School District 5, of course, has a rich history of award winners. So today we had finalists that were being honored downtown, and today I was able to join both River Springs Elementary and Spring Hill High School as two finalists from School District 5. To be a finalist, of course, is quite an honor, but to have two finalists in one district is quite a celebration. So we wish both River Springs and Spring Hill the best of luck. River Springs actually found out after our luncheon today that their visit is coming up one day next week. So you don't know the day they're coming, you just have the window of time. So Ms. Cohen got back to find another gift in her inbox that visitors are coming sometime next week. But Dr. Lofton has not found out yet when the window may be for return visit to Spring Hill. But we wish our best of support and success to both of those schools as they continue on with the process. Tonight, board members, on your package, you have a folder that looks like this. I'm going to introduce Dr. Harris next from Planning and Administration, and Dr. Harris will then do our next introduction using this packet. Dr. Harris.
Thank you so much, Dr. Melton, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I am so incredibly excited to introduce to some of you and present to others Ms. Paula Wright, who is our Director of Adult Education. She's in her first year in that capacity, and I might share with you, she has done a super phenomenal job already in such a short time of leading and directing our adult education program, and she's here tonight to give you some insights in reference to the program and what's happening over in the adult education world. Ms. Wright.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I am so excited to be here to talk with you about our adult ed program. I am the new director as of July, so I have a wealth of knowledge to share with you this evening, and I can't wait to get that opportunity to do that. I want to start by just thanking you for the support that you've provided our program to this point. I am a product of this district. I'm an Irmo High School graduate, and I've been an educator in this district for 18 years. So I am completely invested, and I say without just any hint of bias, this is the best school district in all of the world, okay? So you can take that to the bank. It is absolutely true. My purpose tonight is to provide an overview of our adult education program, and so by the time I finish talking with you this evening, hopefully you'll have a better idea of what we do and a better picture of the students that come to us so that we can provide services to them. But I would like to acknowledge two of my adult education team members who are here tonight, and they're going to kill me, but I'm not looking at them, so it's okay. Dr. Beth Fisher is our Assistant Director of Adult Education, and she is wave your hand, Dr. Fisher. And Ms. Sharon Wilkins is our administrative assistant, bookkeeper, you name it, that's her. So they're both back here, and I'm so pleased to have members of the team here because we have a fantastic team in adult education. The federal law that guides adult education programs are the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act, as well as the Adult Education and Family Literacy Act. These laws outline what adult education programs are required to report. And so I wanted to give you an idea of what our accountability measures are to help provide some perspective in terms of why we have the program we have. We are accountable for the number of high school equivalency credentials we issue. We are responsible for reporting our career readiness certifications, our educational functional level gains, which means our students better off when they leave us than they were when they got there. Entry into college or professional training programs once they exit our program, and also employment. Once they leave us a year or two afterwards, we have to report whether or not they're gainfully employed. In order to be an eligible adult education participant, a student must be 18 years or older, and however, we do have some instances where we admit 17-year-olds, but they are 18 years or older and meet one of three criteria. They might be lacking in basic skills, they may lack a high school credential, or they could simply be unable to proficiently speak, read, or write the English language. So if you're over 18, and fall into one of those categories, you're eligible to come into the adult education program. Students who are seeking admittance into our program would first come to an orientation program. And when they come to orientation, we give them an exam. And so they are thrilled when they come on the first day and they get that. It's the test of adult basic education, and we refer to it as TABE. So students who come to us take the TABE exam, and that tells us their instructional or their academic level so that we can provide a good instructional plan for them. It helps with placement, but they also get individualized counseling from us so that we can determine the best pathway for them. So considering the guidelines, the funding, the accountability, eligibility requirements, each adult education provider is then responsible for developing a program that best serves their community. And so when students come to us, we have to explain what that program looks like. So I am a visual learner. So because I'm a visual learner, I created a graphic that kind of gives you an overview of what our adult education program actually entails. There are 6 components I have listed on this graphic, and while each component is vitally important to the health of our program, they're not all equal in terms of participation, and I think you'll understand that as I go through. I'm going to give you just a brief description of each one of those components, and hopefully you'll have an idea at the end of this what we do in adult education. So if you'll look at the graphic from left to right, the first component is the high school credential program. And as I mentioned before, students who come to us looking for a high school credential might want a high school diploma, or they may be seeking a high school equivalency credential that they would receive via the GED or taking the TASC exam. So they come to us, and based on their academic records, their TABE test scores, based on counseling and what their personal goals happen to be, we determine, or they determine, the best route for them, whether it's a GED or a high school diploma. And so we try and make sure that we just get them on the path that helps them to reach their academic goals. We also have an English Language Acquisition Program, an ESL program, and this program is designed to help English learners who are not yet proficient in the English language to acquire basic skills and knowledge necessary so that they can function effectively as parents, workers, and citizens in our community. Our teachers are amazing in the ESL. All of our teachers are amazing. But our ESL teachers are particularly amazing, and I say that because that program continues to grow. Every time I turn around, they're asking me for, do you think we can get another teacher, another classroom? So that program continues to grow. We also have a career readiness certification program. We have students who come to us for the sole purpose of earning a career readiness certificate, meaning they are coming to us because they are seeking advancement on their current job, and they are looking to get that career readiness credential either through the WIN test or through work keys, and they earn the certificate that is recognized nationally by industries and businesses. But we have a program that would allow them to focus on basic skills as well as career readiness skills. We have a family literacy program that we're very excited about. Family literacy is one of the, sub-initiatives in adult education. And family literacy is just that. It's making sure that you're providing for the literacy for an entire family. So when we have adult education students come to us who have children, they are automatically enrolled in family literacy. And all that means is that they have opportunities beyond what our regular adult education students have, in that they are able to participate in parent education classes. They are given resources for the community. They are given additional opportunities for employment, pre-employment training or on-the-job training. They are also given opportunities for interactive literacy activities with their students, with their children, our students. They are also provided opportunities for learning field trips. So there are a variety of things that go on with them with monthly literacy nights. And so the whole idea is to provide for the stability for the entire family by addressing our adult education student. We offer standardized test preparation, and with our standardized test preparation, I think about an example in particular. We had a student come to us seeking assistance with AccuPlacer, which is the test that students take if they're entering Midlands Tech. She did not score as well as she wanted to or needed to gain entrance into Midlands Tech, and Midlands Tech then referred her to her local adult education program for remediation. So we have students who might come to us who need remediation or support as they're planning to take Accuplacer, ASVAB, SAT, ACT, whatever the case may be. We have a program in place to meet their needs as they're preparing to take those standardized tests. And then finally, we have academic enrichment for students who simply want to improve their basic skills in reading, writing, and math. We have a program designed for students to be able to come into the classroom. They've already taken the tape test, so we already know what their deficiencies happen to be, and so we can tailor a program of study for them to meet those needs. So that's, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the important part at the bottom of the umbrella. You know that the handle of an umbrella is what provides stability to the entire structure. Well, for us in adult ed, that's career pathways. We're responsible for making sure that our students not only meet that intermediate goal of getting their credential or getting their certificate, we are also there to make sure that there's a plan moving forward. So we're accountable for making sure that we can help them put themselves in position in terms of whether it's academically or whether it's job placement immediately following the exit to our program. We have to make sure that we keep that in mind. We have a college and career navigator on staff whose sole responsibility is to make sure that she works with students to come up with academic and career goals, and then she does what she can do with them to remove barriers and help connect them with people, places, and experiences that help them stay on that career pathway. And that's an important part of our program. So that, in a nutshell, is what adult education does. So I want to give you just a quick snapshot of who is taking advantage of our services. So as we look at who's taking advantage of our services, I want to point out just a couple of things, or just 3 or 4 things. I'm not going to read this graphic to you. I know better than to do that, but I do want to draw your attention to a couple of things. First of all, our largest demographic is ages 19 to 24. So we have a fairly young clientele in terms of the majority of the students who would actually come, especially during the day. However, as you can see, we have a wide variety of students who are taking advantage of our program. Our students ages 17 to 21 are a priority in adult education across the board. These are students who are just recently exiting high school or just trying to enter into the workforce. They're a critical group that we need to reach in order to ensure the health of our community. So the entire adult ed world has a focus on these students. And as you can see, well, I didn't put it on this graphic because of the way the breakdown is. However, we have 53 students who fall into that category of 17 to 21. You can see that the ESL program has the largest group. We have the largest number of participants categorized as ESL students. And then the final thing that I want to point out about this graphic, I want to give some insight into the classifications, adult basic education versus adult secondary education. If you, when we give our students the TABE test, once we assess their scores, students who score at adult secondary education are students who are already ready to take on high school coursework. So these students come to us ready to delve into high school coursework. We have students that score adult basic education. Those students need a little more remediation and support. So what we have then, if you look at that graphic, you'll see that the majority of our students in adult basic education are in adult basic education. It more than doubles the number of students we have in adult secondary, which gives you an idea of the types of students that our teachers are working with. So that's the snapshot of who's taking advantage of our services. And as you can see, we have a very diverse population. Students come to us with a variety of needs from a variety of places in life. We have teenagers who still live at home and they're trying to fulfill that promise to mom and dad, I'm going to get my diploma, yet they still don't even understand the value of that diploma. We have students who are still young and they've just gotten out of the high school experience, but at this point, they've realized how difficult it is to get a job without a high school diploma. We have middle-aged students who are forced to start a new career because the job they had just ended. We have single parents looking for a promotion, and so they're trying to get that career readiness certification. We have adults who temporarily or permanently relocated to America and are just trying to find their way through the language and the culture. We have grandparents wanting to be able to simply read a bedtime story to their grandchildren. And just today, I talked to an 87-year-old who is interested in enrolling in our GED program, and the reason she said she wanted to enter the program was because she was tired of people talking over her head. So we have a wide variety of students coming in. The Lexington Richland School District 5 Adult Education Program is here for all of those students. We take seriously our mission to inspire and facilitate learning while we empower our students to attain their personal, academic, and career goals. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share the Adult Education Program with you.
I think we might have a question or two. Ms. Hammond, do you have a question?
Yes.
You're doing a great job, and I hear good things about it in the Irma community, but I had two questions.
Yes, ma'am.
They're a little bit different, but if I can ask them together. One, I'm just curious, since some of the classes from the times, they're in the day, do we have it all in one area at Irma High?
Yes, we're all located in the same wing.
That's what is it right as you come in on the side that, you know, now that we've got the auditorium there, I'm not sure where we have the,
If you're familiar where the track is,
yes.
we are right there.
Okay, so you are all in one area?
Yes,
Because I
ma'am.
noticed, you know, you're kind of there all day.
Yes.
Then I'm very interested in English as a second language, because I know we have so many ESOL children in our schools. I'm just curious now, do we have like a Spanish teacher, or whatever the language is they're learning, but I assume it's Spanish. Do we have a teacher that is teaching, because they speak Spanish and are able to teach them, or are we doing it more like the immersion that we do like in our classrooms, where we don't really have the ESOL person speaks the Spanish? I'm just really curious for an adult.
Okay. And let me go back to your first question. The ESL program is not on Irmo's campus. The
Okay.
ESL students meet at Ashland Methodist Church.
I saw the satellite, okay.
Yes,
So that's,
yes. So they are the satellite program. And as far as their instructors, it is fascinating. Our teachers are certified ESL. Some of them are certified ESOL and actually teach in the school. One
good.
teaches at the high school. The whole idea is that when they're teaching ESL, they are basically teaching English to whoever's in the room. They have a variety of language speakers in the classroom with them. So the whole idea is to make those students and make them comfortable with producing the English language and getting them comfortable in those social circumstances. But it is fascinating.
thank you,
to
because I
watch.
think
You're
that's so
welcome.
important. I'm just so glad to see, and that's a huge number there, too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, thank you. That's
You're
it, Mr.
welcome.
Mr. Lovelace.
Our company has a training course that we give for supervisors, and it's tailored for construction. It's not tailored to, you know, exactly toward learning English as a second language. But is there a bank of teachers that we could call upon? Because we have about 8 people that, you know, that are learning that while they're learning, you know, it's specialized into the, you know, it's not like you're like just learning English, but it's specialized into, you know, architect, engineer speak. So is there a bank of?
I would love to talk to you about that. We are actually, all adult education programs are responsible for creating integrated educational training programs that do exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, that's-
And we're in the beginning stages of creating those programs. So I would be interested in working with you on
Our
that.
problem is that these guys live all over the Midlands. They don't live in one school district. So that's why, you know, I asked, you know.
There are adult education programs all over, and we're a network and we work together. So we certainly could work together to make sure that we find placement.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Ms. Wright, we commend you and the staff, the stories of success that you can celebrate and that we have the opportunity to see at graduation are because of the skills of the staff, but also the personal relationships of each of your staff members. So please go back and convey to all those that are working with students tonight and couldn't be here our sincere appreciation and applaud their efforts, because they are making a difference in this community and changing the lives of families. So congratulations to you and your staff on behalf of School District 5.
Thank you.
Our next report this evening is Mr. Richardson. Mr. Richardson, I hope that you can have just as much excitement and passion as Ms. Wright has about her programs regarding our monthly financial reports. Mr. Richardson.
Thank you, Dr. Melt. Members of the board, that's hard to follow up, unfortunately, with boring information, but I will do my best. In Exhibit B of your package, you'll have the financial reports for the months of November and December of 2018. Very briefly, for the 2 months, we collected $42,265,150. We expended $30,886,440. And year-to-date, through December, we have actually collected $71,456,341 and expended $75,605,360. That concludes my brief report, but I will be glad to try to answer any questions if you have any.
Don't see any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gant. That completes the superintendent's report.
Well, actually, I did have a question for Mr. Richardson. Is Tom Knotts working on you for funding for something special this year?
You
We
didn't
probably
give him-
need to know it.
He didn't get it, you didn't give him a chance to ask.
We tried to cut him off. No, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Melton.
Absolutely.
That brings us to our public participation, and